everyone. I am Erman, CTO and co-founder of Aden Games, and my friend is Yarkın, who is in charge of business development. First and foremost, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here today. It's always a great experience to be able to connect with fellow colleagues, gamers, and individuals passionate about game industry. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the hosts, sponsors, and organizers of this great event for bringing us together. So, can we...
The other one? Maybe it's the upside down.
Oh, it is upside down. Okay. There you go.
Aden Games is a game development studio comprised of 15 people. We were founded in 2020 officially, but initially our journey started in 2018. We worked with a lot of different hyper-casual publishers like Homa, Azure, Zynga, and many more, and made a hit game called Gold Rush 3D with Zynga before our Webwitch adventure. So today we will share our experience and insights about our first ever Web3 game that we developed, Marbleverse, and also talk about the challenges of developing a Web3 game compared to conventional game development.
So this is just a little sneak peek from our office. You got Sauron over there in the background. We just really like those pictures and just wanted to include it in the presentation.
So we realized the potential of blockchain technologies quite early on, but it took us a little while to actually dedicate time and resources to start the project. However, in early 2022, we finally decided to start developing Web3-based game with a small team. As we started the development of our project, play-to-earn theme was massively popular, which is why we focused on this aspect. We inspected quite a lot of this type of games before deciding to develop a simple but fun game that had some play-to-earn mechanics. The team we dedicated for our Web3 game was quite small, which was only one developer, one artist, and one community manager, and some help from our other team members from our mobile development team. Our main purpose here wasn't to turn a profit, but rather get a feel for the ecosystem, understand the technical know-how of Web3 project development. So we treated this project as more of a learn-how initiative. To quickly summarize our project, Marbleverse is a nostalgic marble racing simulator game where players, which are NFT owners, can have fun while participating in exciting marble races. I will be focusing more on the development steps rather than our game itself, but if you have any questions about the game, feel free to ask me during the Q&A, and we can also grab a coffee after the presentation.
Is this the presentation?
No. Begin. Before we start sharing our development experience, here's the summary of the outcome we had. Even though our main purpose was to understand the ecosystem surrounding these games, and despite the fact that we had no previous experience in this field, in just 3 months after starting development, we were able to sell 20,000 NFTs, which worth around $1 million alongside successfully carrying out $200,000 worth of initial coin sale. Considering we only treated Marbleverse as a learn-how project, we were absolutely ecstatic with those results, and even more important than the amount of money we earned was the priceless technical know-how we got from this project. As we started the project, our research showed us that the most of the DeFi apps and games developed with blockchain technology was quite poor and technically lackluster. Millions of dollars were lost due to bad logics in smart contracts, malicious backdoors installed by the developer, lead developers being able to steal the project's money and disappearing. This led us to the conclusion that without developing and managing robust smart contracts, huge losses were unavoidable. Now we can go to the next page. There are a lot of different reasons how mismanaging your smart contracts might lead to the failing of the project. Here, for example, a project in Ethereum network lost $34 million worth of Ethereum they earned from NFT sales because of a bad logic implemented in their smart contract. All tokens got locked inside the smart contract address that cannot be used in any way, losing all investors' trust and all the development funds for the project, all because of a simple mistake in their smart contract. It's not only happening to new projects, but one of the biggest and most famous one was also affected by those unfortunate events. As projects get larger, your smart contracts get a lot more complex and your vulnerable points increase. So after this conclusion, both myself, the CTO and the CEO of our company, with more than 20 years of coding experience combined, we decided to learn how to develop smart contract using proper development methods, with using latest and cutting-edge tools for solidity development and making automated tests in our own test blockchain for any kind of possible attacks or bugs. So after this point, along with the two smart contract developers we had on our team, we conducted some security tests with the decentralized exchange team we were working with. The tiniest error in a smart contract could lead to the ultimate fail of the project, and we have seen many samples of this. Security was always one of our main priorities. So if you are considering outsourcing the smart contract development to third parties or even developing your contracts in-house, make sure to work with reliable audit firms to ensure that there are no backdoors or logic errors within your smart contract. Obviously, the credibility of the audit firm plays a really big role here as well, since it's not uncommon for an audit project to get exploited, because most audit firms are also rushing their audits and might miss some edge cases. Here's a super simple example for an attack, which is called re-entry attack, which can allow attackers to steal all funds from your smart contract. As you can see, these two functions both have 3 lines of code, but in just different order. One of them is correct, and one of them has a vulnerability for those types of attack. Which one do you think you should use? Here, if you selected the right one, you are either have some experience in solidity development or just got lucky. A similar mistake made in the left one caused a project to lose $60 million of their investors' money, and in 2016, and a lot of similar hacks happened after that. Of course, in real world, smart contracts are much more complex than 3 lines of code, and it can be difficult to spot the vulnerability. So you should take extra care developing your smart contracts. To share an example how smart contract development can get you in trouble, here's the smart contract we used only for the Marbleverse up until now. We started with a simple ERC20 tokens for rewarding our players and an ERC721 token for our NFT, Marble NFTs. But implemented a unique minting mechanic where as NFTs get minted, mint price would increase. As we start marble races, we had to implement our own reward contract to reward our players. Later down the road, we released an ERC 1155 contract to be able to have items other than marbles for our game. Items in this collection needed to be mintable using our in-game token, and also should be able to use our reward contract when necessary, so it should be able to work seamlessly with both of our other contracts. Later, we decided to use our own NFT market instead of generic marketplaces like OpenSea, because we want to be able to customize our marketplace functionality and didn't want our community to pay for the marketplace cuts. So we also implemented our own NFT marketplace. As we develop further, we need more helper contracts to be able to improve our game, like upgrading marbles using our in-game tokens, staking tokens, and staking NFTs. As you can imagine, most of the contracts here need to work with each other, and without proper management, it can get out of hand quite fast. Considering a simple mistake can almost kill entire project. So about marketing, our main objective with our first Web3 project was to get familiar with the ecosystem, combined that with the fact that this entire project was self-funded. We didn't really have a substantial marketing budget. We had to divide our existing marketing budget into multiple channels equally to test various marketing strategies we could use within the ecosystem. At this stage, a glaring difference between Web 2 and Web 3 games hit us. Marketing was completely different here. Looking at casual and hyper-casual genres, the interaction between players and the developers are nearly non-existent. On the Web 3 side of things, however, this is completely different. There is a lot of interaction directly between the developers and the player base through various social media platforms, mainly Discord. Since we didn't have a big budget for marketing, we had to look at alternatives, zero budget marketing options like social media posts, collaborations with other projects, and most importantly, and maybe the most beneficial method that allowed us to attract paying players to our project, Twitter AMAs. We hosted and participated in many Twitter AMAs to reach our player base, the whales, NFT traders, and non-paying players alike, to get the word out of our project. Our other marketing efforts were completely disastrous, as even paid posts with YouTube, Twitter influencers with more than 100,000 followers bought us almost no user and added no benefit to our project. So by the time we were doing our initial token sale, we reached 2,500 followers on Twitter and 1,500 followers on Discord. Numbers might look very grim if you consider some other projects with more than 100,000 followers, for example, compared to us. But if you need to know, that they are just some random numbers at this point, considering you can get thousands of bot followers on Discord and Twitter by spending $200. Our follower base was purely organic, and almost all of them had an intention to participate in our sales. Even with low numbers of followers, our initial token sale was quite successful. Despite few setbacks we had on the blockchain we were operating on, within 8 hours we were able to hit our target sale of $200,000 in native token and formed our liquidity pool. Within 2 days, we had our token listed on the most respectable coin tracing websites like CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Another challenge that Web3 posed that we never had to deal with before while developing Web2 games presented itself at this stage. As soon as our token is listed, things got very serious. We got swarmed with all kinds of swindlers, con artists, and grifters, from people trying to rip off our community by creating fake liquidity pools to people trying to scam us by impersonating exchange managers or famous YouTubers trying to steal money. We had to deal with all sorts of attempts that try to undermine our project. There are scammers that are able to use official email address of famous coin exchange platforms, and even they can use artificial intelligence to change their voice and their face on online meetings just to get your money. It took around 5 minutes after our token was listed for our website to be assaulted with DDoS attacks. Thankfully, our team is comprised of members that from different backgrounds who had previous experience dealing with these attacks, and we were able to fend off the assault. With proper team management and constantly being in contact with our community, through different channels, we avoided any unwanted outcomes from those attacks. 2 weeks after our token sale, we started selling our NFTs. They were meant to be our primary source of income. We had 20,000 NFTs at around $50 each. At this stage, however, the use case of our NFTs weren't active yet, which is why we only sold 5,000 NFTs on day one, which was still a huge success and quite surprising since our game wasn't online yet. The sales were going from one side and the game development was still going strong. Our goal in this sense was to release a mobile app and allow our NFT holders to join races and watch them whenever they want from their devices. Things didn't turn out the way we envisioned, however. We quickly realized that making the mobile app to wallet integration was very difficult. From a user experience standpoint, every time you wanted to contact a transaction on the app, users had to switch to the wallet application, and it would make otherwise a very simple task quite annoying and difficult for the user. Since we released our game on the Kronos blockchain, which is pretty new and immature compared to other chains, most of our user base was not used to the DeFi tools, and most of our users were using Crypto.com's DeFi wallet app instead of MetaMask. This made the integration between wallet and app even more difficult. On top of all of these challenges, the main problem was getting NFT usage past the Google Play and App Store mobile markets. NFTs weren't necessarily compatible with the terms of service. Marketplaces had almost essentially declared war on NFT apps. In order to overcome those daunting challenges, we decided to scrap the idea of having a mobile app and decided to make our platform completely browser-based. This made us lose some time and progress, but after around 2 weeks, we released the required implementation to make Marbleverse playable on the web browsers. This step in our roadmap propelled our NFT sales, which resulted minting out our remaining collection in the following weeks. So the good things with it, we were the first GameFi on the chain, even though our user base was pretty small. This generated a lot of hype and different use cases. We managed to add different use cases to our NFTs. We handled the smart contracts, decentralized apps, and our NFT marketplace development in-house with our experienced team, so we didn't have any hacks or exploits. We created a secure system thanks to our experienced developers. With our activity in Discord, we managed to create small but a loyal community. Our custom 3D NFT generator made our NFTs stand out from other projects, most of which were using 2D sprites. And the bad, of course, we made some errors due to our lack of experience. Since it was our first Web3 marketing experience, we had wasted too much time and resource to campaigns that does not work on Web3. And by the time we understood the ecosystem, it was far too late. At start, we ignored the limitations of blockchain and decentralized apps and wasted a lot of time and resource for the things that didn't work. We had no long-term plan for our project, which caused some issues later on. And the future, as all of you know, we are in a deep bear market right now and things are not looking good. But we believe in the future of blockchain technology and utilities it can bring both to the world and the gaming ecosystem. Aside from developing and testing new things with our first Web3 project, Marbleverse, we are starting another project in which we will mix everything we have learned so far. We believe that in the next cycle, we will have games that use blockchain not to create a play-to-earn environment, but rather an ownership-focused one. So we are already planning our next project, this time a free-to-play multiplayer RPG dungeon crawler, which will use blockchain technologies to allow players to be immersed in a world where they can truly own digital assets. Thanks to everyone for being here, taking time out of your valuable schedules to listen us. If you have any questions, we now have a few minutes for questions.
Any questions?
You said that you realized marketing method too late, right? Yeah. So what was what did you realize, and what did you decide to do the correct way in marketing?
Realized what? We tried marketing with social media platforms, influencers. We test a lot of different influencers, YouTubers, and Twitters. There's a lot of people in Twitters like trying to advertise your project with paid advertisements, of course, but none of them bring anything to us, and it didn't work.
Yeah, we tried to. The only thing that worked essentially were the Twitter AMAs that we conducted ourselves that drew a lot of attention from people genuinely interested in a GameFi project. But we were very inexperienced, and since we were a very, very small team and we didn't have any budget, essentially, we were completely self-funded for this project. We didn't really have a lot of chance to work with like big advertising or like ad monetization technique, campaign program managers and stuff. But yeah, like Erman said, there were multiple disasters in our marketing campaign. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of people that have like fake followers, fake influencers, fake YouTubers. We tried, and it was a costly process for us. We tried to get in touch with them, but to no avail. It didn't bring us a lot of users, unfortunately. But we learned the hard way how not to do marketing. So we're very excited for a new project, and we know what to do now in the future. Any other questions?
Your token and NFTs, are they based on Ethereum? Because I have not. Your tokens and NFTs, are they on the chain of Ethereum, or did you use something else?
It's Ethereum virtual machine-based chain, which is Kronos. It is basically a fork of Ethereum. Sorry?
Is it a layer 2?
It's a layer 1.
Layer 1.
Yes, Kronos.
We still have a couple minutes. Anyone? I think that's it. So,
So the main problem with most of the GameFi project is the inflation of the tokens. And I was like checking your Discord while you were like giving this speech. So I saw you are like giving rewards to people who hold the NFTs, right? So what is your burning method? Like how do you really?
So you can use our in-game tokens in a very different kind. You can upgrade your marbles with your native token. You also earn our token through racing, and you can use them to basically turn them to dollars, or you can use them to upgrade your marbles to increase your chances of winning, let's say. Also, we have another collection, which is ERC 1155, that you can mint using our native token. We also use our marketing cuts to buy back our native token, so it doesn't get inflated to zero. All
right. Thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.